Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to basically the second installment of setting up Emacs from scratch. The first time was just a blog post I wrote on my website, but today I decided to try to record an actual video doing it as well. Today we're going to be looking at setting up Emacs for use with LaTeX. So as you can see in the blog post, if you're checking that out as well, I have already installed Emacs, obviously. And I've also already installed LaTeX, which takes much longer than Emacs. I've also already installed an external PDF viewer that we'll take a look at in a second. But with that, let's go ahead and start configuring Emacs. So the first thing I'm going to do is just find a file. I'm just going to go ahead and use .emacs. The first thing we need to do is we're going to add some package archives. So the first thing, this is the same as the last blog post I made. The first thing we need to do, we need to require the package. Then we can add to list, package archives, and we're going to add the Melpa repositories. So the GNU Elpa repository should already be enabled by default, but we're going to go ahead and add Elpa as well, because that's where many of the packages we're going to get are. And then we're going to call package initialize. So I'll go ahead and evaluate these with Control-X, Control-E, save that. The other thing we need to go ahead and do is we're going to have to call package refresh contents, and you can see that it is contacting Melpa, so that first part was already successful. Package refresh is done, so now that we have that, we can go ahead and install the program we're going to use to install the rest of our packages. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and write it like this. So we're going to check to see if this package is already installed. Package installed P. So that's a predicate function checking if this package is installed. The package we're checking on is use package. Unless it is installed, we're going to install it. Use package. Okay. So you can see contacting host. We're currently installing that. It put all this junk down here. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. So now that we've installed use package, let's go ahead and require it. It's going to let us use it. Alright, and now that we have that, we're ready to start installing the rest of our packages. So the first package I usually like to install, because I was a Vim user before switching to Emacs, is the evil package. So this is the extensible VI layer for Emacs. So the general syntax of a use package expression is this: use package, then the name of the package. And then if we want it to be installed for sure, we'll just say ensure T. So as you can see, we're going to go ahead and start installing that. We're going to get that custom set variable stuff again. So this is actually a good opportunity. Let's see how I can tell it to put that somewhere else. So let's do Control-H, A for apropos, custom file. Okay, custom file. Okay, sweet. So we're going to go ahead and do this just to get that stuff out of the way. Set Q, custom file to home/.custom.el. Okay, let's try that. Let's do this again. Okay, hopefully that will not happen again. So one thing I did forget is we don't just want to ensure it's installed, we also want to configure evil mode so that it actually comes on. So the way we do that is evil mode. Oh, I think I actually didn't even put that in the blog post version of this. But we're going to want to do evil mode probably 1. But again, we can check on that. So we'll get some help for this function. And, okay, toggle evil mode. If called from Lisp, enable the mode if arg is omitted or nil. So let's omit it, and now we should have, alright, good, we've got evil mode. Okay, the other thing I talked about in the blog post is that evil mode doesn't have, like, Emacs doesn't have redo functionality by default, so I'm going to delete this. So let's save that. If I delete that, I can undo, but I can't redo. You see at the bottom it says customize evil undo system for redo functionality. The other problem, though, is that Emacs by itself, at least I believe, doesn't have redo built in. So we actually have to install a package that provides that behavior. So what we're going to install is called undo tree. This used to be the default undo redo system in evil mode. So use package undo tree. Again, we're going to ensure it, and then we're going to config global undo tree mode 1. Okay, and then we can also update our evil configuration so that we can actually point it to that. So we're going to do evil set undo system undo tree. That's not going to work yet because we don't have undo. Well, actually, that should work. Yeah, that works just fine because evil mode knows about undo tree, but undo tree is not installed. Undo tree. Yeah. Okay. I added another line here to the blog post saying that you could set your evil search module to evil search. Let's actually check that out. Evil search module. It's bound to iSearch. So you may want to do this. Set q evil search module to evil search. If you don't like how your search is behaving, I don't really seem to notice any difference right now. But it's up to you. If you experience anything weird with your search, you may want to try using this. Otherwise, I'm just going to delete it for now because everything seems fine to me. So evil should be all set up. Now we just need to actually get undo tree. And now we should be able to try, I'll delete this. Delete, undo, redo. Okay, good. So we now have redo functionality. So there we go. Now we have all of our Vim stuff set up. We're ready to dive into the actual Emacs, or the actual LaTeX portion of this. So the package we're going to use for that is called octec. And all we need to do for now is ensure T on that. Wow, there's actually an ELPA as well. So it looks like evil is the only thing we actually had to add MELPA for. Very interesting. Uh-oh. Octec. Did it install successfully? Oh, whoops. Let's see what's going on here. So it did actually expand. So as I was saying in the blog post, I'm actually running Emacs graphically over SSH. So that explains some of these weird errors here. Octec failed to provide feature octec. I think that's okay. I'm just not sure. Maybe you're supposed to defer. Ah, yes. You're supposed to defer the loading of octec. Let's try that again. Okay, good. So now with that, we're all set up. And let's try actually editing a LaTeX file. So let's just call it try.tech. And this isn't really a LaTeX tutorial, so I'm just going to kind of blaze ahead here. We've got document class. We'll just go with article. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show off one of the cool things about octec is you can actually install, or you can load an environment. So let's hit tab a couple times here. So you can see some of the possible completions. So to pull this up, I hit Control-C, Control-E. The actual document I want to start the document here. So if I start typing document, you'll see that inserts both the begin and end. So that's really handy. So I can go ahead and say hello world. And then the other thing that's nice about octec is I just hit Control-C, Control-C, and it's going to pull up. So it has some default commands. If I hit tab, you'll see those. So initially the default command is LaTeX, or PDF LaTeX. And then once it's compiled, it knows it doesn't need to compile it again, so it prompts me to view it. So as you'll see here, it cannot find events viewer, which is the default it tries to use. So let's go add one more thing to this. So as I mentioned also in the blog post, it seems like there should be a better way to do this than having to add a hook like this every time. But this is the only way I've found to make it so that Octech doesn't throw an error for this like LaTeX mode hook not being found or something. So we're just going to go ahead and add it like this. So we need to output. We're trying to add to this list the name of our PDF viewer. So we're going to push this list onto tech view program. Can I complete it? No. Selection. And we can look at that variable now. Currently, it looks like this. So as you can see, it's trying to use events as our viewer. Wow, that doesn't show up at all. But what we want to use is actually Zathura. I mean, if you have events installed, I'm sure that would be fine. But I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and use Zathura, which I do have installed. So if I go ahead and save that, I can go back to my LaTeX buffer. Now if I view it, it still doesn't work because I forgot to refresh the hooks. So I need to call LaTeX mode. Now if I view it, there we go. This is going to pop up somewhere else. Okay, good. Pops up right here. So you can really see the latency of my SSH connection right now. But eventually it's going to pop up. I think. Okay. Well, anyway, hopefully you can take my word for that. I'll go ahead and kill that. Okay, did it work? Okay, it worked. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, good. So hopefully that side of my screen will free up in just a second. But that's pretty much a summary of what I wanted to show today. Just getting nice and set up. Well, you know, I might as well show a couple more things. So Control-C, Control-E. So we can install some other, or we can add some other environments. So sure, it wants me to do itemize. Sure, I'll do that. Why not? So I can say item 1, item 2, item 3, that kind of thing. Something I like to do is just do that. And as you can see, now it knows that there's been a modification, so it wants me to run LaTeX again. So something we can do actually is we can open this PDF inside of Emacs. At least I thought we could. Okay, maybe not. So, you know, while we're trying to get this to work, why don't we add some more useful packages? So one other useful package that should really be up here, basically in the essentials, is Ivy. So as you'll see, let's go ahead and install Ivy. So this is going to make basically our buffer switching commands. Okay, and then I need to actually activate Ivy. Config Ivy mode. I think this one does want a 1. Let's check it out. Ivy mode. If it's positive, off, otherwise. Okay. So let's go and turn on Ivy mode. And now you can see that my buffer switching commands are much nicer. So if I go back to LaTeX, you can see that the same thing, Ivy mode is going to go ahead and apply here as well. So if I hit Control-C, Control-C again, you can see that now I have this sweet list of completions where I can just go up and down here. So we can go ahead and run LaTeX again, and you can see that you can hit Control-C, Control-L to actually show this buffer. Now let's go ahead. One other nice thing about Octech is if you make a mistake and you try to compile, you'll see in the bottom bar, the what do they call it, the echo area, it says hit Control-C backtick to display the error. So if I do that, you see it jumps my cursor down to where it thinks the error is, and it tells me that my begin and end are mismatched. So I can fix that and run LaTeX again, and we should be good to go. So that's really nice. So one sad thing is that the help buffer doesn't go away, but you know, we can just clear it since we know that it's all done. Okay, and all right, let's try one more thing. Let's try using use package. Well, okay, I know there's a document viewing thing. Doc view. Before we install an external package, you should be able to actually view this PDF inside of Emacs. Doc view mode. So let's give this a shot. So this is actually a really handy thing. Although I much prefer Zathura as a PDF viewer in general. Please show me the document. It can be very nice to actually view these PDFs inside of Emacs. What is it telling you? Especially if you're on, you know, something like Windows. Okay, I don't have GhostScript installed. Okay, apt install. Alright, let's try that again. So, this is great. We're getting some practice debugging. There we go. Cannot display this page. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now you can see that we have actually visualized our PDF in Emacs. And then I can split the screen. I can go back to my tech buffer. Now, the one bad thing about this, which is shared actually with a lot of PDF viewers, is that this isn't going to refresh automatically. So one package you can use to get around that is PDF tools. I've used that in the past, and one of my friends has had some great success using it recently. But I typically prefer using Zathura with my tiling window manager. But other than that, it's still pretty useful. Alright, let's try to stop this. This might have been a really bad idea over SSH. Let's go back to my try.tech file. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of that PDF for now. So, one other thing I did want to touch on that I nearly forgot about are snippets. So some things are really nice here. You can do, let's see, let's try to insert a figure. So yeah, this is actually a little bit more involved. As you can see here, you've got stuff like float position, which we can specify. We also give it a caption, a trial caption. Yeah, I want to center it. And you can see it's actually going to install all of this for us. Apparently it put it right in the middle. I guess it put it right where my cursor was, so that was my fault. But you can see that it put all of this in here for us, which is very nice. However, what it didn't put in is something like include graphics width equals text width, and then some figure we'd actually want to put in here. So something I did before I realized how powerful Octec was, and something that I still use for other purposes, are snippets. So let's just take a quick look at what snippets can do. So if I go back to my .emacs, let's go ahead and use package, yeah, snippet, and let's make sure it's installed. And then we do want to configure this one as well. We'll go ahead and turn on yes global mode. Okay. And I'll just show you what this looks like. So snippets are basically, they allow you to type some small snippet and then expand it out into something else. So what we want to do, let's go ahead and add a snippet for including a figure like this. So let's do yes, new snippet. I'm going to go ahead and split the window because I actually want to copy what I had there before. So let's go ahead and copy this. And everything you put down here just goes with this. So let's go ahead and call this fig, and we'll make the key fig as well. So basically what I want to do is I'd like it to put me right here so that I can tell it the path. So what this is going to let me do is type fig. Actually, you know what? Let's put one in here as well. And then when I'm done, I want it to put me out here. So I think if I hit Control C, that will not do it. Are you sure? Yes. Uh-oh. Is it this? Must be this. What bindings are available? Okay, let's find out what's going on here. It seems that I messed up this snippet. Can I, let's just kill this. Alright. Let me go ahead and, we'll try that one again. Yes, new snippet. I know that there's a binding for that, but it's kind of hard to remember. Fig. I'll make the key fig. I'll do this again. $1. $2. Alright. Okay, I think we're having a problem with our escapes. I think it doesn't like this, potentially. Okay, this is very interesting. What if I save it? Ah, okay, it just wanted me to save it. Yeah, let's save it in LaTeX mode. Yes, create the snippet. Okay, something very strange is going on there, but it should be good. So let's go ahead and hopefully we can actually load that in. There we go. Okay, so after all of that, basically all you get is you can type whatever you put in that key box, and the $1 is the first place your cursor will go. So let's say fig/test. The $2 is the second place my cursor is going to go. So I can say fig test, just add a label, and then at the end I go to where the $0 was. So in this case it takes me outside the figure. Another nice thing we can do, let's go ahead and insert a table. So much like before, there's my float position, caption, trial table caption, and I would like to center it, sure. Tab, try. Position. So this is nice because it's actually prompting me for the position of the tabulars. So let's just make 3 centered columns. Oh, that's not what it was doing. Yes. Let's take that out. And you can see here we have a table. So column 1, column 2, column 3. It's actually going to freak out because I don't know about it doesn't know about the figure. So maybe in the future I'll show off a little bit more of this stuff, but that's a quick introduction to Octech. And I will also have this whole .emacs file available on my blog with all this information in it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you.